Make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch. If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favourites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others, but they're not like us. We need to get out of here now.
A massive roar from the three Lions. They are through. It took extra time to get there, but they have knocked out Erling Haaland and Norway, and now England are through to just their fourth ever World Cup semi-final. 2-1 it finishes in Miami, and it's the fourth semi-final appearance all-time. The first, though, since 2018, 13 goals so far. And it's Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham that is leading the way for Thomas Tuchel's side. Welcome along, everybody. Really nice to have you with us, and a big sigh of relief.
I'm doing the Troy Deeney on this one. I'm doing the Troy.
We're all doing the Bellingham. Birmingham, stand up. It is amazing. Sorry.
It's a relief, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah. Thank God we've got that fella.
Yeah.
We are very, very average. I'm sorry. We won. Job done. Thank you very much. Norway, row your boat, off you pop. Let's deal with some real stuff now. But that was not a convincing performance. If we're being totally honest, we get the job done. All the comments are going to be like, oh, England won. It's coming home, all of that. Nothing about that was convincing. We get into extra time, and thankfully we've got Jude Bellingham again. That special something that the guy willing to take a risk. It's a great strike from Morgan Rogers, 47 yards out, and the goalkeeper, again, who I told you is a backup goalkeeper for a reason. He had one great game. There's so many of them played this game in a long time. There's so many of them that train well, and everyone goes, oh, that guy should start. And they come in because someone gets sent off. One game, they do well. Second game, they do okay. Third game, show you exactly who they are. Little mistake, Jude Bellingham scores. That's exactly what it is.
Oh,
so great, Norway, story was fantastic. Wish you all the best in your development and what you're doing. England, I wouldn't even say march on. Gambol on, little bit by little bit, or as they call it out here, roly-poly on, and just hope to get through to the next round and see, come on, Switzerland. Let's hope for a Switzerland win, because playing like that against any of the big boys leaves me nervous.
Well, the other positive is not only Jude Bellingham with the goals, but he also survived getting a yellow card. That means he is available, Nigel, for the next game.
Massive, massive. You know, we talked about it. We've had debates there before where people said, Grella as well said it, like, Harry Kane's your most important player. And I said, no, I disagree. I said, Jude Bellingham's the one. Jude's the catalyst. When you
also said Morgan Rogers should be started.
No, I didn't say he should be started. I didn't say he should be started. I said if this World Cup starts, before the World Cup started, I said Tuchel showed us that he really likes Morgan Rogers. I said I wouldn't be surprised if Rogers started ahead of Jude. But Jude's come in, obviously, and done well. And Thomas Tuchel said, pardon?
Blown us away.
He's blown us away. And then, obviously, the next thing is there's been conversation a while back about, oh, if Harry Kane's not England captain, who the next England captain to be? And everyone says Declan Rice. For me,
no chance.
Jude Bellingham is the next England captain. He should be the next England captain, not just because of his performance in this tournament, but everything about him. You love to play with players like that, with that edge, that belief, knows who he is, the desire, wants to do well, but also wants to challenge players around him to do well also. Fantastic performance by him again. Saved England.
But on the other end of the spectrum, even though it's very much half full for us, we're through to the next round. You think that was the only good thing about England today, Grella, the fact that they've advanced?
The good news is you have 2 games left, right? Semi-final, final, and you can actually win a World Cup first time since 1966. That's a positive. You're competing. You're finding ways to win. Bad news is you're not very good at football. You're not good with the ball. You're not good in transition. You leave unbelievable spaces in between the lines. It was not by my standard, because I'm happy with whoever wins, but by English standards, a really poor performance. Really poor performance. The impressive part is how poor you are and able to get away with the win. It's like having the world's ugliest daughter and saying, "Oh, you're so beautiful, baby. Yeah, you're beautiful. Don't listen to what anyone's telling you. You're beautiful."
Why does it get more and more personal?
It's just, let's call a spade here. That was embarrassing, the way you got through that game. I mean, you made Norway look like world beaters in that game. So the credit is, 2 more games, you can win a World Cup. Credit to you. You have unbelievable superstars in the team, in Kane and Bellingham, and they showed that. But through facets of the game, not good enough at all. By the way,
the best
first
could
goal
still be to come.
By the way, first ball hits the camera, right? There's a chip in the ball now. There's not a chip in the ball. On Tuesday, they put the chip in. On Wednesday, they take it out. On Thursday, they put it back in. Right? Okay, fine. The goal comes from the goalkeeper. Troy called him out before the game. We're saying, "Oh, he's so great." Troy says, "No, he's a second goalkeeper." He knocks the ball down into it. And then what about the goal taken away for Norway as well? So a lot of talking points. But again, you're there. So congratulations, I suppose.
It's fair to, like, Troy's points are right. Like, our performances haven't been great. But it's to the point now where you've got to say to yourself, if we're expecting England to go into the next 2 games, or whether it's the next 2 games we get to be the England we wanted to see, it's not going to happen. We've seen enough body of work where I think, for me, this is what we're going to get from England.
But we've also on the other side of that seen England play amazing football in all
I think the argument isn't that. I think you're right. I think this is who we are.
This is who we are for this tournament.
But I think the thing that frustrates myself, and I'm going to talk for you, Grella, in this situation is, like when Poppy said, the next one. They keep telling you this performance is going to come, but also it might not. So for as much as it might come and the players might play 8, 9 out of 10 across the board and will show all the great qualities, there can be a day where you play 6 out of 10. Just as easy, because the spaces between the lines are huge. Wide areas, we are average at best. When it's 0-0, we are playing with the shackles on. And again, they told us they're going to play front-footed football. So there's so many question marks based on what you said to what you see versus the result. The results are brilliant. We keep winning. But again, Norway, who Haaland was probably his worst game of the tournament, brought him off when they were chasing a goal. They still had 10 shots in the game. Still had 10 shots in the game. So we don't dominate a game. We don't control the game. And then also the changes, in my opinion, we get away with it. Bring it off Declan Rice. At one point, we had Reece James as a holding midfielder, Elliot Anderson up. Then we take off Konza, put Reece James at right back, and we just keep changing all these different things. And it's like, we're getting away with it. I don't care if we win the World Cup, by the way. If we win the World Cup, great. Give him a statue, Thomas Tuchel. But I'm allowed to say, again, I'm not convinced on everything we see, other than we can grind out results, which is great, but there's another level.
It is the same for every team, isn't it? If you're winning, the problems are masked. As soon as you start losing, then it's this was the problem, that was the problem, and it kind of goes back to ground zero. What about the substitutions that Thomas Tuchel made, Nige? Did you, now hindsight's easy and obviously it worked out, but the Declan Rice one felt like a forced substitution. Did you like the other ones that he made in the way he managed the game?
It was like a puzzle in my head, trying to work out who was going to play where and everything. But in the end of the day, it worked for them. They got the result, which was the biggest thing. Declan Rice obviously had to be changed because he tried to be a bit more aggressive in the second half, so I understood that, bringing on Eze as well. And then as the game progressed, you could see obviously bringing on Dan Burn just to see out the game. At the end of the day, his job's to win as a manager.
Of course.
And like Troy's right in everything Troy's saying. I'm not going to disagree with Troy, because the performances haven't been there, and Grella's right as well. It hasn't been there, but we still came from a generation of footballers where we were taught about winning. Hasn't been pretty, but they're winning. And like Troy said, it could easily go the other way. But right now, you have to just embrace it, got through a tough game, beat Norway.
But all due respect to who they're beating, right?
Well,
Mexico
the
beat
thing
Norway.
is, okay.
I get, but these performances are not going to fly
well,
with
the next
in
one
a tough
is the
game.
big test.
The thing is this, though. If, obviously, England may face Argentina. England were always going to be judged facing Argentina, Spain, or France. Those were the games generally that are going to be judged for this World Cup, where we came through. Because this is why we brought Thomas Tuchel in, for these teams to win something. So until we see them perform against those nations, that's when we can say where really England are.
That's a very fair comment. One of the comments that just came up on there was like, let's play great football and go out to keep these guys happy. Pin that. Keep that saved. Because the same people that are saying that, when we go out, we'll start saying, Tuchel's got to go. This player's terrible. This player's that. Our job is to watch the game, analyse the game, even though, as you guys seen, I'm passionate about England winning. I can't come on here and go, oh, we're great, we're through. Who cares? It's a 3-minute segment. We don't have to be here for an hour. You have to call it as you see it. We are not a dominant team. We got lucky in certain facets of the game today. If the ball hit the wire as it says, that's lucky. The goal that they scored, we get very lucky because it is a flop. Absolutely, it's a flop. I don't care, by the way, because we came out the other side of it, so I don't care. But that is a flop. And then also the second goal, which ends up being a winning goal, the keeper has a stinker. So in certain aspects, you've got to be lucky, and we have been lucky. My worry is, can you be lucky the whole way to the final? I don't believe you can.
Well, like you said, you've got to face. They will not be able to get away with a game like that if it is Argentina that goes through. Just say looking ahead or anything like that. If it is, and then if you get to the final, whether it's Spain or France, a performance like that is not going to be good enough.
Well, Grella, you said it would be embarrassing for England to play against Spain or France if they do make it to the final. You still feel that way?
Oh, I think that you don't have the tools to play against those two teams.
You think it'd be an ugly match?
I think you're universe apart from those teams. It'll be like a Spain-Belgium 2-1. Looks like a close game on paper, but it was never a close game. There's so many. For me, there's so many faces of football. Football is the most beautiful game in the world because there's not just attack, defend, and mid. There's just so many variables, right? And Spain and France are so many levels above England in every single way. It's frightening. Aside from Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, the camera, and the referee, you guys are in trouble if you go against those teams.
I disagree with you on that in one bit. We've struggled when it's about dominating the ball and breaking a team down. Whether it's France, whether it's Spain, on the other side of the bracket, we won't have the ball. We have to sit in a shape and we get to hit on the counter-attack, which is what I believe we do great. Now, I'm not saying we'll beat them, but I actually think it'll be a closer game because all the pressure's on the other team. Everyone's expecting France or Spain to win. Our job is to be defensively solid and make those moments count, which in this tournament we have the moments we've done well with Bellingham or Kane.
Yeah, let me ask you another question, and both of you, right? And to you too, if you want to answer. It's going to be a football question. But so
you let me know when your team makes it in here, and then you can join our crew.
So my question is this to both of you: is you're right. Set up in a counterattack, you might not have the ball. You have the pieces to create with Bellingham, but the way Norway played through you, the way Mexico scored 2 goals against you and then pinned you for 30, 40 minutes. I understand the record, but you did that. England did that themselves. Decision making in the big moments. And the way Norway was able to play through them, and I know there was heat today, play through them like they were not even there. Simple passes. The wingers look like the 2 best wingers I've ever seen in my life, the ones that came out for Norway. Because it was so easy just to get it to them and let them run at guys. And so my concern is, what happens when the front 4 of France are doing that to you?
No,
what happens when Leo Messi gets in the pockets against you guys?
That's when the real test comes.
I agree, but I also think, sorry, Nigel, I also think that we are so open and so expansive because we're trying to dominate a game. Do you get what I mean? So that's why, because we're on the front foot and the wingers are high and the midfielders have gone from a 2 at the bottom to a 1. I don't think we allow ourselves in those big moments, potentially against Argentina, potentially against Spain or France, to be that exposed. My concern is that we are right on the edge with our luck. Like,
the buttons.
The button keeps getting pressed. The Jude, the Kane, the referees help us out. I'm really interested to see how, I'm really interested to see how flipping the referees explain this, because the threshold at the start of the season, the start of the tournament was so high, and we're seeing real football, and now flopping, and it all comes back to that game again.
By the way, Nige, who do you start? Because the wingers have been the question, haven't they? In the next game, who do you start on the wing if you're Thomas Tuchel?
It really doesn't matter, if I'm honest, because I don't think that any of the wingers that have played have said, OK, I'm starting. If anything, you probably go the same starting again. You start with Madueke.
Saka looked OK, though. He created a lot of trouble in the second half.
Maybe Saka probably will be someone that you'd start now, but like I said, I haven't been impressed with any of them. That not one of them I could say he's a definite starter. The only 2 players, Jude and Harry Kane. And that's the worry for England. For the teams that they potentially could face more, we've only got 2 players who are really turning up and performing. Others have way too many other players playing at a high level to worry about. That's when you're going to have to judge them.
By the way, did anybody just see that comment before? England fans are the most toxic. Do you agree with that?
Wow.
Toxic.
No, I think we're the most optimistic.
Yeah.
I think most England fans would be like, it's coming home, it's great, it's coming home. If I was sat in a boozer now back home, which is a pub to the American audience, I'd be like, yeah, we're going to win it all. But I'm not. I'm sat here paid to give my opinion on what I've seen. So I'm not convinced. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not convinced. So if they're toxic, then you know what you can do. Switch over, because we don't really care if you're watching anyway. Off you pop.
No, please stay with us. We're going to be back in just a second. 8 o'clock, the game finished Eastern. That means it's 1 a.m. in England. And like Troy said, the pubs are probably full of optimism because the 3 Lions are through to the semi-final of the World Cup.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now.
Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And we live the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money. What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Oh, well, Norway, they are out of the World Cup. It's been 28 years since they last featured in a FIFA World Cup, and after extra time, the 3 Lions knocked them out and sent them rowing all the way back across the Atlantic. This is a look at the SofaScore ratings from the match. Troy, why don't we start with you, seeing as you're such a big fan of these numbers? Oh. Nyland, the goalkeeper, was the highest rated out of all of these.
Yeah, just ask every Norwegian fan and player. Ask him himself if he's 8.1. Jesus, yeah. And then also Ryson, who went off after an hour, is 7.1, sorry. Yeah, it's these were shambles that night. Let's call it as it is. So apparently only 3 players played well, but they took England to extra time.
Oh, so you think they're harsh?
I think, of course, they're harsh. Nyland, how can you throw away the game, literally throw away the game, and be the highest rated player? Just, maybe I'm stupid. My family called me stupid, so maybe I am stupid. But how?
You're talking more so from the big mistake. That there's goalkeeping, bread and butter, where he catches it, and then for you to make a mistake, like as a goalkeeper, judging as a goalkeeper, you can't get the highest rating after.
But Nigel, if you flip it, and a guy who's strikes played terrible, scores a goal, then they go with this great.
Sorry, Troy might be hungry. Get the ladder Snickers.
It's all good. Never hungry, mate.
Hangry?
That's why I eat lobster when you're home on your mum's computer. Off you pop. Anyway, as I was saying, when it comes to this, these people, like, literally write down, the keeper, he spilled it, they're gone home. You saw the guy crying at the end, which, by the way, I feel sorry for him because he ultimately has lost. It's a big moment for him and his country, so I do genuinely feel sorry for him.
That mistake.
But you can't then rate him as the highest rated player on that team.
Yes.
Because Jude Bellingham on the other side, I haven't seen SofaScore, I imagine are fantastic, and he's like a 9, but he's benefited off you being poor. The logic of it just doesn't make any sense. So.
For that, yeah, I understand. I think for me, for being a goalkeeper and judging on what goalkeepers should be doing, which is obviously catching, punching the ball where you have to do, you make that big mistake, you can't have the highest mark. It makes no sense.
What about Erling Haaland, by the way? Obviously, this is the time when we're going to say goodbye to him. He's had an incredible tournament, hasn't he, with the numbers that he scored and being involved in the Golden Boot race. How will he reflect on it, Grell? Will it be a success, even though Norway out in the quarterfinal?
Again, he's another guy that comes to the conversation of Mbappe and Messi and all these great guys, and Ballon d'Or winner, and can he do it, and this and that, and how many goals he scores. He's a super athlete, super power in the game. By his standards, again, not by ours, not by mine, by his standards, that was a really poor performance of him. Super poor, exhausted. He had to come out in the second extra time. You're arguably the best goal scorer in the world. You've got to come out in Norway's biggest footballing moment ever.
That was bizarre, wasn't it? Did that take you by surprise?
But exhausted from what? Didn't run the entire game. By the way, you can say, okay, because I see every time I went after Ronaldo and said, listen, like he was not very good, they said, the service was not there. What about hold-up play? What about the play in the first half when if he's a little bit more mobile and sees the giveaway there and gets his feet sorted, that's 1-0, right? Norway have to be perfect, and they need their stars to be perfect. We said the goalkeeper had to be perfect tonight. Wasn't perfect. We said Haaland had to have a big game. Didn't have the big game. Sorloth, he has an opportunity to make it 2-0, and then all of a sudden England are in a really dangerous spot. Those are the margins if you want to beat teams like England that have the players that they have. Those are the margins. You have to be perfect on your day and catch them on an off day, which England, every single game they've played has been an off day. So for me, poor performance. If we talk about it in a good light all the time, we also have to say in the biggest moment in Norway's football in history, he was ghost in the game.
I think if you zoom out a little bit, bigger picture, they will say fantastic tournament, loads to build off, loads to be excited for the future for. Both obviously the Euros and in the World Cup, they're in a real good place right now because it's still a relatively young squad, still got some young talent in there, and it will grow. But unfortunately today, it was maybe one game too many. But I love the way that they attacked the game, the way their fans turned up. Listen, the row annoys me, but fair play to them. But they turned up with a situation going, we're going out for the game, we've got out on our shield, and we're happy. That's it.
Very true. The road ends here for Norway. I like what we did there. It was maybe a really good year as well for Norwegian football because 100%. The story wasn't only, Norway's first World Cup in 28 years. It was everything that Bodo Glimt did as well in the Champions League, Nige.
Yeah, great progression. I think the boys covered everything, pretty much what I would have said as well. They'll still look back and say it was a good and successful tournament for them. And even with the performance they put in today, they put in a good performance. They didn't lose. They put in a good performance. It wasn't a performance where England dominated them or England were the better side, and you could see there was miles
difference. Does that make
difference.
it more painful, though, by the way?
It will, because of the manner of the goal that they conceded. That's the thing that's hurt them the most, because they played well at times. We even had a discussion before that they scored. Does the Norwegian manager out-tactics England? How he set up, and then he started later to bring on Oscar Bob and Noosa. So we started to have a conversation about tactics. Maybe they were better than England in how they set up and prepared. So I think even though that they're out, they'll be very happy with the performance today. But the gut punch is England didn't have to work super hard for their goal. That's what makes it more difficult.
If you look on the side of the screen now, typically it's just changed. It was like 94 was in the group stages, 98 they got through to the qualifier, and then now they're through to the quarterfinal. So if you see, they've progressed, and there's been a progression. One other element now for the Norwegian national team, plus like the likes of Bodo. Am I keeping you awake here? You okay?
Sorry, I'm exhausted from that game.
Now they're not an unknown quantity. You know, like now there's a different pressure now because people respect them and they're going to have to try and break you down in a different way. So that's another challenge coming their way. But let's not take nothing away. They've been amazing.
They've been very good. And also there's moments in games that are big that can swing. And, you know, with the refereeing, there's a lot of people that say the refereeing's been good. There's a lot of people that say everything's rigged and fixed. I'm not saying that. But those moments change games. That flop from Elliot Anderson, that's a flop. If you've played football, you know it's a flop. He's actually crying to the ref before the play even happens, and he's trying to flop, and he's waiting for the flop. And then once Erling Haaland touches him, he flops. Okay, gamesmanship, whatever. What about the one that goes up in the air and Ajir is there, and he goes to head it, and he's elbow in the back of the neck, right? That, if the ref wants
What about the Soloff moment? Like moments in games. I know you're talking about referee, but
I'm talking about the referee
moments
now,
in games as well. Though they could have killed it themselves.
But they could have killed it themselves. Plus the goalkeeper dropping it, plus the referee, plus the camera. These are all variables in the game. So they change the outcome of the game.
Do you think that they'll feel like that things just weren't going their way today, aside from the football?
I think
they'll be upset.
They'll be hard done by.
They'll feel hard done by the referee today.
100%. Because even the incident with Jordan Pickford when he came out and collided with Morgan Rogers, and then the ref stopped the play, but Norway had the ball, and one of the players got booked
because they thought it might have been a potential head injury.
So they definitely won't be feeling happy about it. And
England, Argentina, or Switzerland, Norway. That's a game you want to watch.
That's a great. Like, you know, if you're looking now on the side of the screen, the only losses you've got on your record are 1 and 3 in the world, France and England. For Norway, that's a lot to build on. You've beaten some good names there in Brazil and some good teams in Senegal and Ivory Coast. So there's a lot there to build on as well. So they'll be happy. They'll be very happy.
And the federation will get $20 million as well for the run that they've been on through the World Cup. And a lot of teams don't want to face them in the qualifiers, right, for the next big competition. Christina Unkel is with us, our rules expert now, to talk about some of the decisions.
Oh, well, she needs a minute. She needs a minute.
Christina, you okay?
Hi, team. Just came back from calling the game live. That's the only reason why I'm running around here.
You look fabulous. Christina, should we talk?
Quick little shout out to our team, Keats and stuff.
Yo, what's
Love
up?
It. Love the shirt as well, looking good. Okay, Christina, what about the ball that is debated whether it touched one of the camera wires at the top? What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, no, that actually caught me by surprise. I saw the chatter happening, right, and where the report was, and it caught us by surprise because obviously, naturally, a ball in the back of the net. My job is to go back and take a look at when they received the ball to make sure there was no foul in the APP or any kind of incident that would take the goal off of to chalk off the goal. And you know, I've seen the videos and I've seen the statements that have been put out, and I have access to not all of the VAR cameras, but I have access to quite a bit. And video operator Keats here that you just saw, him and I were going back and forth. You don't see the ball trajectory change. We're looking at it from the technical sideline stance of it, right? You actually see the full, a rainbow arch. The ball doesn't change. You know, people are alleging it's going straight down. It's not going straight down. We look back at the players' reactions, at the technical staff's reactions. Nobody reacts in the moment that it happens. And then just recently, FIFA, about probably 15 minutes ago, put out a statement showing the connected ball technology, saying that there was no change or trajectory or movement on the ball by the connected ball technology as well. So, like I said, I can only use the evidence we have, the visuals that we have. You know, angles can be deceptive. This is a game of angles, and probably the most indicative angle is the one from the technical sideline showing the ball's trajectory, and it's a perfect rainbow arch. There's no change. So nothing that triggered us in real time, and honestly, I'm still not convinced that it did touch a spider cam.
Christina, while I think you got that one absolutely right, obviously with my English hat on, I do think the referee got the second goal of Norway wrong. I think that's a flop from Elliot Anderson. I think him going and looking at it as well, you can see it's a flop. Why has the threshold dropped We started off with a really high standard of real, nothing's really a foul, and now we're getting into the business part of the competition. It seems to have gone back to factory settings now.
Yeah, so first of all, the irony should not be lost on this, right? This is the first time we've seen this expanded protocol that allows for goals to be chalked off if there is any kind of a foul or simple foul or anything that would infraction it before the ball is set into play. And here we see it for the first time. And what I mean by the irony of it is, right, this is something that's been happening a lot in Premier League, the shoving, the pushing, the blocking before any set pieces are taken, right? FIFA itself specifically used England versus Uruguay in March as an example. Ben White's goal, right? The block prior to as an example. And this actually fits categorically exactly why this new protocol expansion had happened. And so, like, to your point, right, is Haaland, are they all pushing? Yes, but it was that secondary push when he took it, and it's a full two-arm extension into the chest. Does this guy need to go flying that much? No, but the evidence is just too clear and too clean to show that that was a material change in a push before the ball's in the net that fits into this new protocol of checking, and that's why it was recommended down. So I do think this one's correct, but I do agree with you, Troy, that there has been a bit of change when it comes to the burden of where they're sending VAR down, where in the group stages that wasn't happening. And now it's getting a little bit tighter. And we're, I'm going to use Mbappe for an example, right? In the Mbappe game, the delay of 3.5 minutes of checking, I completed that in 35, 40 seconds with my video operator. And we don't know what they were looking at unless they were trying to say Mbappe was similar to Spence today, that he initiated the foul. But at that point, now that's looking for the needle in the haystack.
Christina, what about, I don't know if you remember the play that hits the crossbar from a set piece, and then Ajir, the big center back, is like right there. The ball's up in the air. He goes to get it, and then he gets like smashed from behind. That's a foul anywhere else in the field. Why is that?
We took a look at that.
Because the thing is, if you freeze frame that and put it at VAR, right, that's going to be a foul all day, because he just goes up, the defender goes up and just goes right through the back of Ajir. So that's enough contact, just like the Haaland play, just like any play we see anywhere in the field.
Yeah, so we took a look at that one as well, too, right? And primarily the best angle for that is the one that's showing them from a sideline view, and it's actually on a reverse camera angle. So what we would be looking at as to whether or not this is a clear and obvious error is when they're both jumping up. Are they both jumping up simultaneously, or is he jumping into him in that direction? And that's where anything that's basically hips and up are the hardest ones to recommend for a clear and obvious error, because there's always shoving and there's pushing. And I know which one you're talking about, Grella, because I went to take a look at it and say, is this the penalty in this situation, right? And you also have to have the understanding of, okay, did he have the attempt to play the ball, a challenge for it? And I was okay with that being a check complete. I did not want that as a recommendation down, right? If we're going to have a high bar and a high standard, I'm fine for that not being a foul in that situation. But that's the gray subjective area where I know if you put that down and that was recommended for VAR for a penalty kick, you're going to have more than half of the community, football community, not agree with that. And that's, to that point, why it's not a clear and obvious error to send that down from VAR.
Okay, really interesting viewpoint. Thank you, Christina, for breaking those down for us. We appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Of course. Cheers, all.
All right, stay with us, everybody. We're going to be back in just a sec.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others, but they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad in my hand. What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Thomas Tuchel, after they beat Norway 2-1 in extra time, had this to say about England. I'm not happy with the performance today in every sense. The performance was chaotic. We made a lot of mistakes and we weren't fast enough. There were too many tactical errors and we weren't quick. We were lucky today. The way we played was sloppy. We did a lot of technical mistakes. It had nothing to do with mentality. We need to play better and we will demand more quality from our players in the semi-final. You like this, Troy?
I love the honesty.
Yep.
And also I love the fact that it kind of validates us, but also doesn't make us come across as haters, because if the England manager, clearly more qualified than all of us here, is saying exactly word for word what we've said.
Yeah.
Too slow, physically and tactically all over the place. And the key word he used, we were lucky today. He said that. So I wonder if all those guys in the comments now are going to write him a little email if their mum will allow him to use the internet long enough. But that ultimately, this is why in our defence now, if we would have come on and was like, England are great, England are fantastic, you have every right to go. Your manager says you're not. So this is why I'm glad we showed that, because I think it's spot on, and I love the mentality that he's not happy with that performance, even though the result was good, and he's saying we'll be better in the semi-final. I hope you're right. Yeah. I hope you're right. But tactically, we've got to be a lot better moving forward.
But I do like how he's always demanding more from them, Nigel, right?
Always, because we haven't seen a good enough performance, which is why we keep saying the same thing. We haven't seen a good enough performance from England. Thomas Tuchel was very straight down the line, very direct in his opinion, not scared to give his opinion. And he's right in everything he said. And for me, I read into that deeper as well, is I'm giving these guys the freedom, which is why I always say the emphasis should be more on the players, and they're still not doing it. The players are still not taking responsibility to go out there and play with a better freedom and real quality that I expect.
Mo Farah won. What was the race that he won? The 10K, something.
5,000, wasn't it?
I was
5,000.
I was in my apartment back then when he won it. Whatever. I started crying when he won. Not English, not connection to him. I don't watch running. I don't never even watch the Olympics. Started crying when he won the race, because I know what it took. I don't know personally what it takes to run that race, but I know as an athlete the suffering, the discipline, how much sacrifice he made to get to that moment, and he deserved it. And it made me, and that's why we watch sports. That's how you raise your kids. That's how you teach little kids to play football, to work on these things, and they work at it, and they're good at it, and they deserve it. They merit it, and they get it. And I think in football, as a lot of fans come onto our show here, and they say, yeah, but he just doesn't like Argentina, or he just doesn't like England. No, it's not true. You just want to see the team that deserves to win it, the team that put the most work in, the team that is the most talented, the team that is the most together, the team that's good in all modes of playing. That's the team you want to see win it. You don't want to see a team that's not playing well win it because it feels like a different team deserves it. That's, I think, the beauty of sports. When someone wins something that merits it, it makes you feel like you get a feeling in your heart. And that's, for me, what's important in sport.
As a neutral, how do you feel seeing the comments that Tuchel made? Do you think that's a fair assessment?
100%. 100%. I mean, listen, does he have to go out into the public and say that? No, he could probably just keep that to the group. I'm actually glad for our perspective that he said it because we were quite negative, right? Coming on, England win their semifinal, final. We look like a little bit being harsh. But the manager came out and basically said everything we said.
And I like, by the way, that he says that.
Because if he doesn't do it, the British press, going up there and seeing his whole, they will destroy him.
No,
like, you can't try and make it seem like...
They'll be talking about how great we are, the togetherness. We've seen it already. The John Terrys of the world talking about, this group is together, the connection with the fans. All of that is fantastic. But ultimately, you're not talking about the one thing, which is what the manager's saying. Tactically, we've been exposed a little bit. We haven't been controlling games. And the key word, I keep going back to it, we've been lucky. So with luck, yes, that's great. But if you've ever been to a roulette table and you've been lucky and feels good, what do they always tell you? Get out. Take your winnings, get out as quick as you can, because it's got to turn. Yeah. And that's how these things work out.
OK, let's see what Nico's up to outside the stadium in Miami. Let's see if he's with a few fans.
No, not sorry at all. A lot of people don't get this. Talk to me what you've just gone through.
I don't know. I always get emotional about. Sorry, even my own club, Newcastle, but England as well. I always get emotional about stuff. So, yeah, sorry, but yeah, it just only comes around every 4 years if you qualify. Sorry, slap my face. But it's been sensational. I think the first half we didn't play that great. And fair play to Norway. I thought they were really good. But I think we sort of turned the screw a little bit. The last sort of, 30 minutes or so. So,
Jim, sometimes it doesn't matter if you don't play well. You win, you're over a line. Talk to me about Jude Bellingham. How important was he?
Jude Bellingham. There's a few question marks about him. I don't know if you know about this before the tournament started, where his mentality, but he has been immense. And I have to say a big word for my player, Big Dan Burn, against Mexico. And even today, he did great. But yeah.
He's been to the Poppy School of analyzing football.
Well, that's what it means. It means a lot to people, right? So
that's an example of just the English fans and what they.
But you're not gonna
exactly.
I'm not gonna kill the guy for being emotional, although he needs to sort himself out a little bit.
Anyway.
Do you know what I mean? But all in all,
that's the emotions of English fans. That's what we go for every tournament.
He seemed like a lovely person.
Let's hear from another fan, shall we? We've got some more comments.
Oh, and Troy Deeney as well. He works with us. What do we think about Troy?
Yeah, Troy. He's from Birmingham. He's from our city. He's a good lad. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and yeah, good luck to him. He's doing well.
And he's a Zulu like us.
There we go. Hey, Troy, these guys love you. Guys from an Argentine.
We're from Northfield and Longridge. God bless you. Up the Blues and up the England.
Right, congratulations, guys.
Sure.
Oh, now you want to smile, yeah? Now you want to smile, yeah? Now you want to smile and be happy.
Because there's a lot that I want to say that I can't say.
Yeah,
fair play to you, lads. I'll be back soon. We'll have a few bevies. See you soon.
Look at you.
Yeah. Hey, no, anyone from London there? Nah, can't afford it. They're all being miserable. Off you pop. Up the boys. Go on.
Is it coming home?
Up the boys. Let's go. Come on.
Give Troy his flowers and he loves it, innit? Yeah, Troy Deeney's great.
Troy's had enough of the fans till he hears that they're talking about him.
No, it's about where I'm from, the Zulus. There's a load of stories about that. I'll tell you about it another day.
Love it. Can't wait. We'll see you soon, everybody.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down. The grand prize, $1 billion. Win this game. Change your family's life forever. Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now.
Open your eyes. Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it? Tell me, can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Things are heating up, that's for sure. We found this opportunity and we're working for it.
My man.
Tulsa King. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
You need a hug?
You need a fist?
Crutch, crutch, crutch.
Crutch, crutch.
Crutch, you need anything.
I do have one question.
We didn't mean right now.
Being a cadet in Starfleet Academy means being open to the people around you.
I've spent my whole life getting away from stuff, letting someone in. It's hard.
I want to be captain. I need to be captain.
I owe you something. It is coming just for you.
So the last semi-final spot on the line in Kansas City, Argentina, led by the great Lionel Messi, up against Switzerland, who are aiming to reach the last four at a World Cup for the very first time. The Swiss have never beaten Argentina in their history, but the defending champions did struggle past Cape Verde and Egypt in the last two rounds, as you can see there. One of the semi-finals is already set fully. We've got France against Spain on the left-hand side of the draw. England await whoever wins this one in the other semi-final after a 2-1 victory for England over Norway. As we welcome you inside the Golazo Match Night 48 Nations studio. It's Adam Hunt here with Ian Joy.
Why are you smiling?
Benny Feilhaber. I'm smiling because England are in the semis of the World Cup. Come on, lads! 3 lines on the show.
Is it going home?
Is it going home, coming home? Where's it going? I don't know.
Is it leaving?
I don't know. We'll talk about the game later.
He's hyped.
Later. Calm my beating heart. We've got the small matter, though, of Argentina against Switzerland, Benny. It's going to be an interesting game. Neither side particularly convincing, shall we say, in their previous games. Who's going to be more up for it tonight, do you think?
Look, Switzerland I actually thought had a pretty good performance against Colombia. Colombia, I think, went into that game as the favorite, and they didn't do much. And so I think Switzerland comes in very confident. They know that they're going up against the reigning world champions, so it's not going to be an easy game for them. And then Argentina, man, they've been saved a couple of times. I usually say that
the champion, the to-be champion, usually has to go through a lapse through a tournament. Either, Argentina 4 years ago lost to Saudi Arabia in the first game of the World Cup, and then they turned it on. And you thought maybe that was the game against Cabo Verde, where they were, in front and then down and then in front or tied and finally ended up winning the game. But then they were down 2-0 against Egypt. And so that's a little bit of a worry for me in terms of, do they have enough to win the whole thing? I think they have enough to beat Switzerland, and they probably come in with that kind of feeling, man, we've almost got blown out of the tournament these last 2 games. Can we come out and have a better performance here and feel good about ourselves getting to the semifinals against England? But I think Switzerland have a puncher's chance.
Do you know which side is the only side left at this World Cup that has never trailed from minute 1?
I would guess Spain.
Switzerland.
Switzerland?
At this World Cup?
Yeah. Switzerland now.
Spain hasn't trailed, have they?
No, it's the only side that's not trailed when it comes to this World Cup, both including qualifiers as well and finals, which is absolutely insane. So, listen, they're a team that are coming in flying in confidence. There's no Manzambi in their lineup, once again out with injury, so it'll be interesting to see how they handle it. But confidence is flying high. You're going up against a team that is world champions, so pressure is minimum for Switzerland. They can go play their game. No one has expectation for them to turn up and wipe the floor with Argentina. But I do think, to Benny's point there, that there is small gaps that Switzerland will try to appreciate they can take advantage of that's within this Argentinian group. If you can quieten down Lionel Messi, you've always got a chance, but can anybody quieten him down? I doubt it.
Benny, other than quieten down Messi, which I suppose is the more obvious point, what do you think Switzerland would have identified from those 2 games against Egypt and Cape Verde where you can get at this Argentina team?
So, look, you made a great point about Manzambi, right? I think he was a very dynamic attacking piece that Switzerland needs. And to go against Argentina, that's been a little bit of their weak point, is the ability to, they're going to have a lot of the ball, but can they, in the counterattack moments, deal with the speed and the technical ability of some of these players? And we saw against Egypt, they didn't have any answers for some of those moments in the game. But I don't know if Switzerland has that without Manzambi. I think he was the catalyst for a lot of those moments for Switzerland. So that's going to be the big question for Switzerland. I think they can defend well. They shut down Luis Diaz in the last game, and I think they can do something similar with Messi on the opposite side of the field. But can they actually generate real attacks of concern to the Argentinian defense?
They need to be better than they were in their last game, Switzerland, that's for sure. Against Colombia, it was very, very tight, right? And, of course, Brilimbolo was very quiet in front of goal. Didn't even have a contact in the penalty box, I think, until the 90th minute of the game. So they need to be more proactive, I would like to see from Switzerland. Listen, Argentina are not perfect. They've proven that to us already in this competition. But Switzerland probably have to be perfect to get past this Argentina side. I'm intrigued to see which Argentina turns up, though, because if they're relying on Lionel Messi once again, it's very difficult for him to continue this trend all the way through the knockout stages. At some point, some nation will slow them down. I think you've got to see other players around Messi step up and really help this Argentinian side if they want success again.
Let's have a look at what Murat Yakin, the Switzerland head coach, had to say before this game. He's been getting a lot of traction on social media, hasn't he? Everyone's saying he looks like a Bond villain. We're playing against
sunglasses.
It'd take a Bond villain to beat Argentina. We're playing against the world champion. There's nothing better than having this opportunity, but it's also been clear over the last 2 matches that Argentina is vulnerable. Do you think, Benny, that Switzerland feel that this is an opportunity? You're not playing France, who I think, and we all agree that have been the standout team in this competition so far. You're not playing Spain, who are going to be really, really difficult to beat. You're playing a team that, although they're defending champions, they've proven they've got weaknesses. This is a superb opportunity for Switzerland to make history for a small European nation and get to the semi-final of a World Cup, a bit like Croatia did a few years ago.
Yeah, I love what the Swiss manager said, because he's giving the praise. You're playing against one of the top countries in the world, the reigning champion, arguably still the best tournament player in the world in Lionel Messi. But they are vulnerable, and that's the truth. And I think it's giving his team that confidence, that credence that they can go in and do it against the top team in the World Cup. Maybe not the top team in this World Cup, but the reigning world champions.
There's a little bit of a vulnerability along the Argentinian backline, right? Emi Martinez has conceded, 5 goals now in the tournament. Not many shots coming in against him. Obviously, they've defended okay, but have conceded. And over the last 2 games, the way they've conceded has been rather disappointing. So, listen, I think that Argentina cannot consistently rely on Lionel Messi to win this World Cup. It can't happen. The rest of the Argentinian side need to really step up their game. And I think they need to do it in this game against Switzerland, because that is a proper team.
OK, let's catch up with our man Nico Cantor, who's watching the England victory. Yes, it was a victory for England, getting through to the semi-finals of the World Cup in Miami. And he sent us this preview of the Argentina game against Switzerland later.
As England fans rush out of here into the semi-final, they're awaiting a winner between Argentina and Switzerland. Of course, so many people are expecting the epic matchup that would be England against Argentina, but first and foremost, Argentina needs to get past Switzerland. And if you look at the Switzerland side, what Murat Yakin, their manager, said is that they need to go toe-to-toe with Argentina physically. That's the most important part out of all of this, because if you don't go toe-to-toe with Argentina physically, they will devour you. And if you do meet them at that level, perhaps you can sneak a couple goals by, perhaps you can sneak a couple of scares by, because Argentina have been frightened. Argentina have been shocked a couple of times against Cape Verde and against Egypt. They aren't playing this tournament from least to greatest. They've kind of plateaued, and perhaps there are so many question marks about Lionel Scaloni. Although he might not have question marks himself, he repeats the same team from the last match against Egypt. 4 midfielders, Messi, who doesn't drop back and defend, and Julian Alvarez, who may not be physically at 100%. Let's see how much he can give you with the counter press. But Argentina wants to be laborious in that midfield, and we need to see the quality shine. Leandro Paredes of the 4 midfielders was the best out of all of them. So if he can keep that level, McAllister can still find his ceiling, which he's still very far away from. And Enzo, if he recovers the Enzo in the last 11 minutes, and not from the rest of the game before that, Argentina could improve. But Switzerland did their thing. They didn't lose their cool against Colombia, and they're through past the round of 16 for the very first time since they hosted the tournament in 1954. Let's see if they can keep on going and surprise the world by beating Argentina and into the semi-final against England. England believes it's coming home. Let's see if they have to face Argentina or Switzerland.
OK, good stuff there from Nico. Time for a short break here on Golazo Match Night 48 Nations. Plenty more coming up for you next.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here. Now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it?
The crowd here feels electric. Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt. What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow! Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Golazo Match Night. 48 nations. We're building up to Argentina against Switzerland in Kansas City. Benny, Argentina team lineup.
Yeah, look, it's the same lineup that we saw in their last game against Egypt. I'm somewhat surprised with the inclusion of Julian Alvarez, who hasn't been as good as Lautaro in this game, but he's back in there. And obviously this midfield here is going to be slightly more defensive than we saw in the group stage. Obviously Thiago Almada was playing a lot of the games there in the group stage, and I do think that he offers a little bit of a different set of skills than the four guys that we're seeing in here, but they're going with a little bit more strength, power, trying to control the midfield and allowing Julian Alvarez and Lionel Messi to kind of make the difference in the attack. But I think we'll see some players coming off the bench because, I mean, we got Lautaro Martinez. You were talking about how many goals in 82 games?
38.
38 in 82 games in a team that features Lionel Messi. That's incredible. Crazy. That's incredible. And I think maybe Thiago Almada off the bench could be somebody that we see as well. We're going to have to see some of these players coming on and making a little bit of a difference here for this team.
Ian, Rodrigo de Paul has been fairly quiet so far at this World Cup, hasn't he, compared to what we saw last time? He's normally Messi's guy, isn't he? His right-hand man.
Yep.
What's he been missing?
Listen, he's getting older, Rodrigo de Paul, as well. He doesn't move around as easily as he used to do. Obviously, Paredes does a lot of help for him. Enzo Fernandez does an incredible amount of work, I think, joining in the attack, and he's done an incredible job in that last game in particular, scoring the winning goal. So it helps de Paul being able to have those fresh legs. And I think McAllister's also picking up a bit of the slack without even being at his best. So we can talk about this Argentina side until we're, obviously dead and buried. But Lionel Messi is the only one I really care about. Everyone else needs to step up. They haven't performed to the best of their abilities. Enzo Fernandez, yes, he gets a pass. Obviously, the last goal that he scored was important. But Messi's statistics are just phenomenal. He's been getting them through to the next game and then to the next game and individually doing it. We were talking about it off camera, Benny, that for 79 minutes, the dude does nothing, right? 6.8 kilometres he's been walking average in this World Cup. 6.8 kilometres.
We walk more in the studio.
Honestly, it's like me and you on a golf course. And this guy in the 79th minute just pushes the on button and boom, away they go. He's a match winner. He's a world beater. He's the greatest we've ever seen as far as I'm concerned. But he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to win another World Cup.
Can he win it on his own, though, can he, Benny?
Look, I think there's something really interesting about this Argentina team. They won the World Cup 4 years ago. They kind of figured out how they get it done with Messi and the other. It's Messi plus 10. But now we're seeing a lot of the plus 10 being older guys, right? 4 years older.
Absolutely.
And you look at that bench again, and there's some young guys in there that can make a difference. And I would love to see some of these guys get into some of these games in meaningful minutes and show a little bit more of that, going forward, attacking mindset to be able to create something alongside Lionel Messi. Because I think that the four that we see in here is a little bit more like, hey, let's do what we got to do on the defensive side and give the ball to Messi in moments and let him do.
And I think, Ian, if we can go back to those numbers that SofaScore had, the record of Lionel Messi pre-22 World Cup, and the numbers that he's produced in the last two World Cups, Qatar and now, you can say, although he's older, this is a better player than we were seeing before.
Yes, but let's not forget this is an extended version of the World Cup. So teams that are qualifying are not up to the crazy standard that were expected of his previous generation of World Cup. So the opposition that they've faced up to this point, Argentina, haven't been of the highest quality. Now, at some point in a game, because he's so good and so talented, he's going to get an opportunity. And more often than not, he takes his chances. To Benny's point, though, these numbers don't lie. They're absolutely phenomenal. There are some players I'd like to see. I'd love to see a little bit of Nico Paz at some point in this competition.
I'd love to see Nico Paz. I'd love to see Thiago Almada. I'd love to see Simeone busting his butt up and down the right side of the field like we see for Atletico Madrid. But we're seeing the same guys that were helping Messi get that first World Cup trophy for him.
It'll only go so long, though, Benny.
I agree. And I think we're going to have to, if they want to win the whole thing, I think we're going to have to see some of that fresh 100%. Blood come in and make a difference.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, we've seen the Argentina lineup. Let's have a look what Murat Yakin has gone for Switzerland.
Let me get into this one. This one, obviously, you would expect Gregor Kobel to be incredibly busy in this game, obviously with Lionel Messi being impactful. But this one goes down to experience for me. Xhaka in midfield, 151 appearances for the Swiss national team, is leading the way, obviously very closely behind with Rodriguez on that left-hand side, 143 appearances. He will get forward, famous in German football, and obviously most recently playing in Spanish football. Zakaria, makeshift right-back, normally a centre-back or a centre midfielder, but he's actually done a relatively good job in that right full-back position. Should come under a little bit of a challenge today, I do believe, with Argentina pushing further forward. Now, of course, Ndoye and Rieder will play in that midfield. So's come into the lineup, no Manzambi, so who's going to step up and replace those 3 goals, 2 assists from the 20-year-old? So's been handed the task. The last game he was okay against Colombia, but needs to do a better job. Brilimbolo, 2 goals, 2 assists so far in the competition, needs to step up his game. Against Colombia, he wasn't impactful enough. It was a difficult game. It was a bit of end-to-end without much action happening in the final third. He's been in very good form, though. 13 goals in his last 17 international appearances, 13 goal contributions, that is. He is someone who I think can have an incredible impact after watching what we just witnessed from Argentina's last 2 games. Cabo Verde and against Egypt, they give you chances. Embolo needs to be hot and ready to go. If he takes his chances, then Switzerland have a chance. If he's not on his game, I think Switzerland will most likely lose this game.
Benny, we talk about in football teams having a good spine, and that's what strikes me about Switzerland. They've got experience all the way through. Kobel in goal, Akanji at centre-back, Xhaka obviously the most experienced player all the way up to Embolo going forward.
Yep.
Did you like what you see through the middle of this team?
I think this team is going to create problems for Argentina. I think defensively, you also didn't talk so much. I think second maybe in caps. I might be wrong on that.
Yes,
but
yes.
Rodriguez is going to be having the biggest task of all, obviously going against Messi on that left side. But I do think that they have Akanji. Zakaria's had a really good World Cup. Rodriguez, Xhaka. So can they limit the opportunities that Argentina is able to create with the ball? As we think Argentina is going to have the ball 70-75% of the time.
Yep.
But again, you look at that Egypt game. It comes from these areas, right? When they can win the ball, Zakaria has the ability to get forward, and Ndoye does. I think Vargas potentially off the bench as well. Mm-hmm. Can they get some momentum going forward on these counterattacks and create some more chances that Embolo didn't really have as many against Colombia?
It's a great point, but real quickly, the battle, I think, not necessarily on the goalkeepers, which we can get to in just a minute. I actually think it's going to happen in that midfield area. Granit Xhaka right now is kind of running the show for Switzerland. And I mentioned already before, with his experience, what he did do for Sunderland last year, phenomenal. What he did for Leverkusen in the undefeated Bundesliga season, phenomenal. They're relying heavily on him leading the ship. Freuler next to him. I mean, they've got experience, and I think a little bit more fresher energy than what we're seeing from Argentina's midfield up to this point. So midfield battle might be where it comes down to, or is it the goalkeepers, I guess?
Benny, if there's a blowout for Switzerland, Argentina, obviously with the players they've got, they are capable of winning comfortably. What would Switzerland have got wrong? What have they got to try and avoid at all costs?
I think they can't turn the ball over. I think they got to be very resolute defensively, much similar to what they did against Colombia. They really didn't give too many opportunities against Colombia, and they were what they need to do differently in this game that they weren't able to do against Colombia is turn some of those moments that they win the ball into true goal-scoring opportunities. I think they missed some moments against Colombia to create 1 or 2 passes, a good run, the right pass at the right time, and then get in front of goal. If they don't do that against Argentina and they don't get opportunities to score, eventually Argentina is going to get one. So
100%.
That's the game for them.
Emi Martinez needs to have a game. He's conceded 5 goals now in the competition, and obviously over the last 2 games, they looked a little bit vulnerable defensively. He's only made 4 saves this whole competition. So he's got to be on his game, especially with Brilimbolo right in front of him, taking shot after shot, hopefully at him.
He hasn't been asked to do too much, and when he has been asked, he hasn't really had much of an opportunity, or he hasn't come up big.
World beaters.
We saw his ego come out in the last World Cup. I think if Argentina wants to win the World Cup again, you're going to have to see the best of Emi Martinez in the last 3 games.
Not too long left. Time for predictions. Ian, what do you think?
I think we see an upset here. I think this one goes to extra time, and I think Switzerland will try to drag this to a boring game as best they possibly can. I have Switzerland going through in this tie.
I'm going to go with a 2-0 Argentina win. Chalk.
OK. We'll have to wait and see. I think we've both been
one of us might be right.
We've both been on the Switzerland block, haven't we? Thinking Switzerland might be able to cause an upset. Time for a short break here on Golazo Match Night 48 Nations. Enjoy the first half. We'll be back at half-time for all the reaction and analysis for you. See you then.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days, but the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.